So the other day I decided to try and install Haiku on my laptop, and I was pleasantly surprised to find that the project has come a long way since the last time I tried it. All of my hardware worked, and the amount of software that's now available for Haiku is very impressive. So that gave me an idea. Can I game on Haiku? Well, in today's video, that's what we're going to be trying out. Right now, on the Linux Lounge. So the first game that I decided to try and run on Haiku is a very simple casual time waster game, B-Mines. B-Mines is essentially an open source clone of Minesweeper. I found that the game worked really well and it looks very much like the classic Windows Minesweeper. So as far as a Minesweeper game goes, I have to say, this one's pretty cool. Next I decided to try a game that's a little bit more advanced, Super Tux. As a lot of you probably already know, Super Tux is an open source Super Mario clone and it's great fun. And I have to say, the Haiku port of this game works really well. So I think if you want a game on Haiku for whatever reason, this is probably the sort of game that you should stick to. Next, I decided to try a 3D game, and for that I went with Neverball. Neverball is essentially an open source monkey ball style game, and I have to say, it's great fun. It works fairly well on Haiku as well. It's not running at a full 60 FPS or anything, but it is definitely playable. I'd say the only problem I found here is that the game does slow down a fair bit on stages with a lot happening, but otherwise, the game is fairly playable and great fun. Next, I decided to try another 3D game, Extreme Tux Racer. This is a game where you play as Tux racing down a hill. It's great fun and it works pretty well here on Haiku. The only issue is that my screen recording program on Haiku failed to encode the footage when I ran the game in full screen. But the game does work in full screen mode when I'm not recording the screen. And as you can see from the footage here, the game also works well in windowed mode. Finally, to finish off this experiment, I decided to try Super Tux Kart, which is an open source Mario Kart clone. Now, the port of Super Tux Kart to Haiku is relatively new, and unfortunately it doesn't seem to work that well. On my hardware, performance is pretty bad. Maybe on more powerful hardware it would work better, but on my laptop it's nearly unplayable. Oh, and also, when I tried to enter full screen mode, this happened. And yes, I did have to slow this footage down, because otherwise it might actually be dangerous to look at for some people. I will say though, despite its problems, I am impressed that a game as impressive as Super Tux Kart can run on Haiku at all, and I definitely take this as a sign of good things to come. So in conclusion, is it possible to game on Haiku? Well, I'm gonna say if you use Haiku and you want to game, there are a few options for casual games that you could play. And considering the fact that Haiku is a small project with nowhere near the amount of people working on it as Linux or even BSD, I'd have to say that that's seriously impressive. But I do also think that there is a lot of room for the gaming experience on Haiku to improve. But to be honest, that's expected here. Haiku is only in its third beta, so the fact that it can game this well at all is incredibly impressive. I think once Haiku has better video drivers, the gaming experience is going to be much better. I think that as a whole, I'm just really impressed by Haiku. So for that reason, definitely expect more videos about Haiku in the near future. But with that said, that's it for today's video. What did you think of it? Let me know in the comment section below and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.